want to be right next to the microphone.
So, folks, I'm going to leave you here. This is Michael Dobbs leaving you to go play, and we're going to have some new commentators. Enjoy, folks.
Okay.
Suck the microphone into your mouth.
Okay, and so this is where I can see who's talking?
I think that's just showing you what we're seeing.
This is actually the thing. Okay, so if people say things, I can chat with them?
Right.
How awesome. Okay. You're Adam?
That's me.
Okay, you look familiar. I'm Liz.
Liz. That's good. My sister's name Liz. Won't forget.
Alright, so let's see when they switch these names out, who's actually playing, and we can switch that out.
Well, it's...
The only people in purple
looks like Enixon versus Hero.
No, the boys in purple are going to be winning later.
Alright, so...
Looks like
Alright, so Team 1's red, Team 2's yellow.
To get this straight, we're webcasting from all of that, and instead of all that now, we're webcasting from an iPad?
Nope. No, that's just watching it.
Oh.
That's our preview.
I see. Yeah! What? You don't need me!
Is it live now, Dobbs?
It's live now.
Okay. We'll reset in a second.
Spiel versus none given. Alright. Can we change the player names maybe?
I mean, yeah. Could. It'd be helpful if we had the draw list handout thing.
I know who's on each team, I can tell you. I just don't know how you change that.
Let's see.
I've never done this before, I'm learning. Team player.
Team 1.
But there's only 2 positions.
I think it would be like, oh, okay. So if he had his team actually set up, he said that the fly-ins actually aren't coming in, so they're not going to see it.
Oh,
anyway.
okay. Then never mind.
So. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're actually going to go, and it looks like a call is about to be made. We're going to go and...
You said when you talk, you want to get the bars up.
Yeah, we got to get the bars out. And Brian Galeback is throwing the lead stones for Spiel mit Mur. Do we have any idea what that team name means, or no?
I have no idea.
All right. Sounds good. Meanwhile, they're playing against the team name of None Given. So, very creative names here at the Big Spiel.
Are there actually that many people following? Oh, no. There's 5 watching now.
All right. So, alongside Liz, I'm Adam. We'll be here with you for this draw of Potomac's Big Spiel. We have the first lead stone for Steven Enixon. That's away. And that's heading down the ice. It looks like after Brian's first lead stone got in the top 12, this will guard it up, maybe tap it a bit.
Can you change that TV for me so we can see it on the TV? I'm glad you know how to work this. I would be so lost. He explained it so quickly.
All right, now Brandon's ready to let Brian throw, and he releases. That one's looking a little bit heavy. There's no sweeping on it at all. I didn't quite catch the call, did you?
I think it was a draw.
All right. If that's the case, it's drawing in pretty nicely. Does nudge that red stone in the top 12 circle. Steven looks like he's calling for...
He's calling a run back.
Run back.
Microphone. I feel powerful.
Let's see. Chad's first shot for second. Gets a little bit of a spill, but doesn't quite take out that stone that's now sitting in the 4-foot circle. Looks like, anyways.
Spiel mit mir is German for play with me.
All right. Well, that's
She
good.
says into the microphone.
I'm just adding the colorful commentary.
You're not seeing Liz wearing her purple hat today, so
Yes.
she is the color commentary.
I took my hat off today.
Did someone not quite get the memo on the purple hats on your team for the first draw today?
No, we all had hats.
They weren't all
We're just
purple.
team hats.
Just team hats, yes. I would definitely work if we put the purple hat on for commentary today.
Won't look good as the commentary.
Right now,
There you go.
Hat is on.
hat is on. Very good.
I really want to know who's watching this right now.
Well, they can always comment in the comment box. Chad's about ready to do whatever Steven asked him to do. Your guess is as good as
I'm starting
mine.
to text a bunch of people telling them to watch, so you know.
And Chad releases. It looks heavy. The sweep. No, it's not heavy anymore. How did that happen? Oh, I had the wrong one. All right, there we go. And that actually splits off the two red stones. Pretty sure that was not necessarily what they wanted to do.
Looks like yellow's sitting 2.
I'm waiting for you to say bold strategy. Let's see how it turns out. You better say that at some point. You haven't said much. Let's see how it works out.
All right, now here's Mike Chipchurlo with looks like a guard. Take a look at them sweeping vigorously. As Brandon is going to get pretty good coverage right past the hog. Take a look at what the house looks like right now.
Looks like he's trying to draw.
That definitely looks like the case. But
Hi, Mom. My mom just told me she's watching, so I said hi.
oh, might as well. Trying to get the rock order all back to normal. Looks like Brandon is now wicked the top card. Now looking a little messy up front. I don't have the best vantage point right now.
Looks like they might have a hit and roll opportunity.
All right. So looks like John Hale's ready to step in. And he's out with hit weight.
I technically play the same. We
He's able
That
to
was
get
a beautiful shot.
very beautiful shot there with a roll. Very gentle roll sitting right in the back of the forefoot.
Well, we get to play a game less. Because there's the new teams we have to play next game.
That was one of those. All right. Now Brandon's looking like he's calling to clear those guards out. All right. And it looks like red. On skip step. So Liz and I are certainly learning how to actually function the broadcast right now. It's a little bit of a learn as we go.
Adam's doing it. I don't know how to do it.
She's honest.
Yes. Oh, then it's a learning process for me. All right, so Steven looks like he's ready to set up his first skip shot. And given this situation, it looks like what he's trying to do is block up anything that Brandon could use later. All right, Steven's first shot is away for a skip zone. It looks like it is. It's got a little bit of weight. Now the sweepers are on it. And it looks like they're going to try and sweep it all the way, touching the button. This is the last draw, we'd be yelling box. Or they would. One of the fun elements of the Big Spiel are different games and contests that go on. Last draw had the box competition. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, they had it this morning, too.
Oh, okay.
I would have enjoyed it more if I had won the box.
Seriously. For those that... Basically, a box is on the ice. And, well, not on the ice. That'd be actually kind of funny.
It has a secret prize inside, and the team that ends up with it gets to keep the prize.
And to earn the box, you either have to shoot a draw that's touching the forefoot, or take a double takeout. I actually had a few box shots during the draw, but, you know, we didn't quite finish with it.
Liz would have had it for sure if we needed our last shot. She'd have had the clean draw, right?
All right, it looks like
We shook
Brandon
before
is
my
ready
last
to
shot,
throw.
though.
And he's throwing with some good hit weight.
I didn't see.
I'm setting it up to 10 people right now, so we'll see if any of them turn
He
on.
tried a double run back. That actually would have been box worthy, but he just wound up clearing one of his stones that were in the top 12 foot. So at this point, none given is sitting 2 to steal. We want to take a look at the way the house is looking pretty good for Steven right now. It looks like Steven is content just to guard it up. And the final skip shot of Steven is away. And it looks like they're on it, trying to get it over the hog. It looks like it's curling in up to.
It's behind. If this is the webcast, it's like an entire rock behind.
Yeah, through the magic of technology, the actual stream is roughly about. It's about 1 stone behind. There's a delay with the codec, the processing, and all the technical stuff that goes into these broadcasts.
He's checking to see if we're doing okay.
All right. Brandon has now decided what his shot's going to be. It would appear he's going to call for running it back his own yellow.
At 4:30 or whatever. Should be the next feature match, not the one we're on scene. Ours is a semifinal.
And it's away.
Yeah, that's true. We're A-event semis. They should feature us.
They are on it. They are on it.
We want to be on TV again.
And he hits it. Clears out 1 red stone, leaving 1 still in the 4-foot circle for red.
Have a good game.
So none given will score 1 this end. So we'll go and update the scores as they reset their end. And it's like 1. All right. Okay. So, that looks like a pretty good end for Team Enixon. I believe this is the C event. Is that where we're at right now with this draw?
I do not know.
I think so, because they were both.
No, but I'll go find out.
Okay, so
Seems like
both.
a reasonable thing.
All right,
We're going to have Andrew check that on us.
We have an intern here? Awesome. All right. Okay, the first lead stone's away. Shocking the world. Steven called for a 3 guard.
And it's a 3 guard.
It is.
Corner
Very nice.
guard.
Very nice corner guard. That'll be useful later. In fact, useful right now. So I'm getting the hang of the cameras. When it goes back to the front end of our facility, we got to reverse the camera order. Got to keep that in mind. All right.
We've got. Are these separate? These are different sides, maybe?
I think those are a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we're using those right now.
Okay.
Okay. Brian's first shot went long.
And Steven will call to take it out. Yeah, Brian just threw on the webcast.
All right. Now here is. This is Rosemary's second stone.
Why did I say he was going to take it out?
You did say.
I'm not paying attention, apparently.
Instead, she took it all the way to the top 8 foot, but leaving it exposed for Brandon to call for the takeout. So I think he changed his mind, it looked like. looks like he's actually looking to draw behind. He winds up.
Taps it back a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so this time Steven will actually call a takeout.
You know?
Not making this up this time.
And there's Chad's first stone. Looks like it's coming in with about backboard way. They're working it vigorously. And hit.
And he gets a piece of it and it rolls out. The shooter sticks around.
So Brandon thinks about it for a moment. Looks like he's gonna have Chip. I'm guessing chip it out. Angles are a little wonky. And he's trying to take out that
Flashes
far right
wide.
stone. Flashes wide.
Okay, it's an elimination match in the third event. None given lost their first two, and won their first one and then lost their second.
All right, so this is an elimination game in the third event. Took a while for us to figure that out,
Yes.
but we did.
The schedule doesn't work quite that way when you go up there to play the game, right?
Yeah, you're looking for specific teams instead of like a certain draw. Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't find it until I got down to the third event.
Yep.
All right. Meanwhile, Chad looks like he was trying to throw something near a guard. It taps that guard into the top 12 foot. Hey.
Ooh, boxes.
I like that. Free thing.
All right. Meanwhile, here in the warm room, there are prizes. All right, while they are raffling off the Potomac Curling Club pint glass, we can tell you that Chip Churlo was supposed to throw a freeze onto the stone that's currently sitting in the 4 foot, but that was unsuccessful. Clearly, you guys out there saw that. So I
Not
probably
yet.
have to tell you. Or you will? No.
They're about to see it. You can watch this.
You need to ignore the delay, Liz.
I'm trying to help them out.
But they will see it when they are supposed to see it. All right.
Another box? I thought it was too big too.
All right, John Hale is throwing the...
If it's candy, he's supposed to share it with me. If we had thrown our last shot, I would have buttoned it, and then we would have been fine.
All right. Meanwhile, Jimmy Fallon is trying to throw a freeze onto the two stones that are nestled in the house in the 4 foot circle. They are sweeping it very, very heavily. And they will get it all the way nestled into that pocket, nudging out one of those reds and sitting shot rock.
Gotcha.
And what was in the big box?
I'm not sure.
All right.
What's in the box?
All right. Big Macs and Big Gulps. There you
They
go.
win Big Macs and Big Gulps. Was in the
Alright.
box.
Meanwhile, John Hale is away with his second Vice Stone. And he's trying to basically copy the same shot. And it is coming in. And now finally sweeping it. As it will bump that yellow stone very nicely.
Taps it back enough for red to be sitting 2.
All right. So Brandon at this point is deliberating. The shot rock is still exposed. What do you think the play here is? What do you think the play for Jimmy Fallon is, Liz? Brandon is currently sitting against a lot. I take that back. He's only sitting against 2 right now.
Looks like he's going to call a hit and roll over to the right side of the ice. Or not.
Nope.
He's just making up his mind.
He's
I lied.
Yeah, let's give you guys a look at what the house looks like right now. And looks like he has settled upon that hit. And Jimmy Fallon's shot is away. It's got plenty of weight. They were sweeping it a little bit. They have stopped. It now looks like it will settle and...
All right, so he got one and then rolled the shooter out.
All right.
So red is only sitting 1 rock now.
Okay, so they... All right, we're back to skip stones now. Steven and John are deciding what to do. They've got a few options. It looks like they've settled upon some sort of freeze to that yellow that is in the, that's touching the 8-foot circle in the back. In an attempt to cut down Brandon to just 1 in this end. So, Steven is gearing up. Apologies on scoring. We're trying to get things settled in the first end. Enixon took 3. So the score is 3-0 as we get to first skip stones. Looks like they are just sort of watching it come in. It's starting to die just a little bit. And it will curl, just tapping that yellow stone, out counting it. It was about a foot away from perfect there. But still a fantastic shot. As Brandon sets up for his first skip stone. Looks like he's getting looking for a draw here. As he explains to Chip and to Brian what he's about to do.
I told Becky Vanarcel to watch, and she responds, "No, that would involve me not taking an awake nap." I don't know what that means. She said that would involve me not taking an awake nap on the couch. I was like, what is that?
Oh, goodness. You know, well, it would be your loss. You are enjoying some quality entertainment right here.
Yes.
All right, so Brian's first skipstone will nestle. Looks to be about second shot as it nudged one of those red stones.
It's definitely a hit on that. I think John's deciding whether or not he wants to.
Yeah. I know he's trying to talk Steven into taking it. Definitely
Yeah.
looks like it's there.
Seems apprehensive about it.
And it looks like he's going to go for the hit. He's going to try and come at it, cross face, and roll over to that red stone there.
Solid DVR.
Go North America. That's all on DVR?
Yes, apparently all the curling.
Did we already win?
I don't know if they paid attention to it.
All right, Stevens.
Yeah, I don't think it's over.
But he
Last skipstone is away.
Not live. Okay.
like you said, yeah, there's probably more
Is
As long as we watch the Ravens game later.
it's coming across. It will nudge that Yellowstone and
No, nose hit and stick around.
stick around.
Put me down to the yes.
I already checked it. We're going to eat here. We might as well eat.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
Brandon
definitely be
is
here.
about to throw the hammer. It is away. They are not working it over. He's trying to just simply draw in and get one. And they are sweeping it, sweeping it, sweeping it.
And he'll get a hit on it and stay around.
All right, so 1 point for
Spielmit Murr.
Spielmitmer, which, as we figured out, means play with me, which
In German.
in German, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick this to the third end. At the end of 2, it is Enixon leading Spielmitmer 3-1. And none given will take hammer.
What's your last name?
Schechter, SCH.
My mom asked who was commentating. Oh, auto-corrected it.
Nice.
That's wrong.
If only my students had autocorrect, they'd actually get my name right. Fantastic. And it looks like Brian hogged it.
I did that yesterday.
It is it's a sad feeling as a lead when you hog a stone.
It's terrible. What? Oh yeah, your broom's got a hog line.
All right, now first. Okay, Rosemary's first stone. There's a little bit of a stumble coming out of the hack, and they are working to try and preserve it. But it also looks like that will not quite cross
Another hog.
the hog line. If you've
Pig's getting a workout.
If you've never been to our club, we actually do have 4 hogs, 2 on each side, denoting said hog line.
They're piggy banks. You owe them money.
Brian with his second lead stone is going to attempt to throw another guard, and that is getting swept, but will certainly make it past the hog. Right on center guard, center line.
That's a great shot. Too bad it was the world.
Okay, so here's Rosemary's second lead stone. There's a draw behind.
Looks like she's already curled past the guard. They're looking to draw into the side of the house now.
If this game wasn't called curling, it would be called Plan B.
There's a lot of that going around.
There is, especially at the Big Spiel. It's such a great event for newer members to try and get some Spiel experience.
Oof. Tough break, she'd see.
We can update you guys at scores as time permits. As Chip is throwing.
Is his name Mike or Chip?
It's Mike. He goes by Chip. I
Oh,
think.
okay. I
That's a
call him
nickname
Mike.
or something. All right, I'll call him Mike.
Hey, if we refer to Mike or Chip, it's the same person.
It is. Anyways, that same said person has thrown his stone right to the 8-foot.
Didn't quite curl behind the guard, though.
No.
So Steven's going to call a hit on it.
It appears that way.
Oh, there's 13 people watching now. Woohoo. I don't know. I mean, my mom's watching. These are the only 2 people I know. that
Here
have
is
commented on
Chad
it, 'cause
with
Rosemary's playing right now, so that
his
she's commenting on the last
takeout
one.
attempt.
But it won't. There's no way to let me see who's actually.
You're sweeping it, sweeping it, sweeping it. And it will hit that yellow stone, but then spill out,
What does my name say?
clearing the house. So Brandon will now call for a draw.
It works.
I was wondering what it would pop my name up as. So I wanted to say something.
That shot has weight as Brian and Jimmy have not quite touched it at all. In fact, it goes back to the back 12.
Back 8, with help from Steven. So Enixon will call a draw here. Is that how you pronounce it, Enixon or Enixon?
I think it's Enixon, I believe. But Chad throws his another hit and roll attempt, or no, draw attempt. Wait, it's a little heavy for a draw. It clears the guard. And
Right through the port.
clears everything. This sets up Jimmy Fallon, not the lead time talk show host, to throw a draw. And they are working that. Brandon's actually out to help. How much do you really think it helps when the skip goes out to sweep?
Not a lot.
No.
Also, you can't watch line when you're sweeping.
I seem to find that when the skip comes out to sweep, it just like bumps into my own broom as I am sweeping.
The third sweeper doesn't add that much.
Yeah, they started around 2:30, so yeah, we're guessing 4:30.
All right. All right, so John Hale throws his first vice stone.
He ends up bumping up a yellow rock into the house. Nope, not quite in the house.
Nope.
Just another guard.
All right, so Jimmy's second vice stone. It looks
Jimmy is the vice.
to bump. And spills nicely into the house, actually.
Looks like yellow's sitting at least 2. Maybe has a biter up at the top. It's hard to tell.
It's certainly difficult to tell from our vantage point. All right. All right, John's second stone is away, and that is real heavy. Brandon gives it a good sweep to get actually just back to the back 12. Yellow is still sitting 2. Brandon really wants
A draw.
that draw the top 8 foot. But it is up to him now. There's definitely a lot of moving pieces with this broadcast.
How many different cameras do you have there?
There's 4 different cameras, plus the house cameras. And then all the graphics, scoreboard. It's a pretty mammoth undertaking here, actually.
Yeah, you're pretty much doing everything. I'm just sitting here talking sometimes. And wants to know who won the box.
On the second draw,
And which draw? Last draw?
yes, the youth group.
Oh man, what did I do? I'm messing up this iPad. Go back. Live stream.
All right, meanwhile,
Got it.
Brandon's first skip stone nestles into that 4 foot.
Okay. I lost all this chatting thing.
There you go.
I missed Anne's comment. No, missing Anne's comment. It's all right.
And Steven's trying to figure out if he has what kind of hit he does have here. I believe he's actually going to draw and freeze right behind that. Right behind that rock that is currently sitting, as you guys can see. It's right touching the button. So All right, first skips rocks our way. And they are working it over. Trying to clear that guard, it just does not. So Brandon currently sitting 3 in the house, right? At least 3, maybe. Maybe
They
the.
can watch our game instead. We're on sheet C. It's the 8th and semis, so could be a good game, maybe. Or we could just lose it completely.
He is certainly settled upon trying to plug up the hole at the
There's
above the
16
house.
people watching now. Dave, there's 16 people watching this game right now. That's a big audience.
Welcome everyone to the live continuing coverage of Potomac Curling Club's Big Spiel. Right now we're in the 3rd end. None given has 3 points and has hammer. But they are in a world of hurt this end. As Brandon's final skip.
Just this end?
Just this end, really.
They've been struggling a bit.
Well, in that case, Spiel Mitmer has been struggling a little bit more. But now it appears that the hole is plugged, leaving Steven with very, very, very little.
This has the potential to be a good end for them.
Yep. On my own team with Team McNeil, this is when Alan would tell me, hold my beer and watch this, I think. He looks like he's going to try and promote somehow.
Our team philosophy is
top right guard.
we'll see what happens. And I think the hats are good luck.
We may need that. We need all the luck we can get. We've had 2 games where I haven't gotten the lucky breaks, but that's okay. You make your breaks. But in 2 games, I've had my fair share of how the heck did they hit that? All right, looks like Steven is going to attempt that promote. And
There's totally a run back double there.
there is. He's just gotta hit it.
I'm just joking. I think he's just going for a regular promote. He's throwing pretty easy weight at it.
That stone is moving nicely. Will settle into the house.
Takes out one of the yellow rocks, but yellow's still sitting 1. So yellow will take 1 point this end.
All right.
Nice steal for Team Spielmitmer.
Good steal for them. Let's update. Oop, not 12. Can't score 12 in this game. 1 it is.
You could in more than one end.
All right. Brandon very quickly is calling for a centerline guard.
Be right back.
And Brian Stone settles over the hog line. And dives right back towards the center line. Just above the 12-foot circle, nestling very, very nicely. Steven will respond with a corner guard. We have not counted you out yet. We have
What did he say?
Brandon had, came back into the warm room and asking us to not count them out.
Oh, I would definitely wouldn't. Still early. And
It's
a pretty
still
close
early.
game.
And that last end, they shot very well and were able to capitalize on some of the misfortune from Enixon's team.
Just took them a couple ends to get on their feet there.
I think so.
I think it should be a pretty close game.
Okay, so Enixon's team has hogged their first stone. And looks like Brandon will now call for a draw. Oops. All right. However, they are sweeping, 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 and it looks like that guard will cover the other guard a little bit.
All right, never mind.
Building a little bit of a fortress in front of the house. Steven will now call for Rosemary to draw behind those two stones. And that stone will struggle to make it to about a 2 or so guard. In curling terminology, you can actually take the area between the hog line all the way to the back line and divide it up roughly into 10 parts, and that's a 10 system in curling, where 1, 2, and 3 are all guards or outside the house, and then 4 through 10 are all inside the house one way or the other. So if you say 3 guard or 2 guard, that's what we're sort of meaning here. Meanwhile, Mike is up for his first stone. And he will try and make it into the house. And that one is coming in a little hot. It appears that both front ends are having difficulty finding weight this end.
Enixon will sweep it out. Still an empty house.
All right, Chad will now attempt to throw one into the house behind the very well covered guards. It looks like they're sweeping for line because that shot has plenty of weight as it runs the guards.
Splits it into the house.
And with that, red actually has shot rock.
Got tired of the hat? What do you think?
Looks good to me.
It looks good on everyone.
Yes.
Best hat around. Have the coolest broom in town, too.
All right, so Mike successfully takes out and peels off that stone that was sitting in the 12-foot circle. And Enixon is going to call for another draw.
Yeah, I Googled it. Amy wants a hat like that. Who wouldn't want a
So
hat like
Chad's
that?
second stone is off. It looks like the weight's going to be there. It might actually run a little bit deep in the house. It will hit the tee line and settle just
Almost would have been a box shot.
almost a box shot. Just into that 8-foot circle. So Brandon's looking like, is that a takeout he's calling for? So we're working it a second ago. It will clear that guard and
No roll, but still a nice hit.
take it out.
Did you win? Nice. Very good.
Oh, yours was the big shot here at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so John is ready for his first Vice Stone. And it would appear he is being asked to throw basically a tap back and roll. And that stone is being worked at.
Oh, just a tick on the guard there.
Yeah.
Still rolling to the house. Possibly biting 4 foot.
Not quite. Shot
Brandon
rock.
will call to take that out.
So this is Jimmy's last stone. Comes in pretty heavy.
He'll be able to push it out, but his shooter rolls out too.
All right, so Enixon's going to try again. Looks like he wants a T-line, either draw or freeze. He looks like he does not want to totally knock that Yellowstone out of play.
It's hog rocks all around. Nope, that one made it over.
And that will gently nudge that Yellowstone back.
Gets a really nice roll.
Yeah.
Red is sitting 1.
All right, so Brandon looks like he will call for the freeze. Some of the cheering in the background you hear is because we're watching the Continental Cup highlights on our DVR here at the club. We're not really cheering for shots that we're actually making here in the club.
Go Team North America.
Yes. Brandon is away. He is looking to freeze on his own red stone.
No. The other team's red.
That's true. The other team's red. Yes, he's.
And it looks like he might sail right through that port. Yep, field goal.
Just a little heavy. A little heavy on that shot. Maybe not enough ice there.
Enixon's still got shot rock in this. Looks like he's thinking about calling a draw right in front of it.
That is exactly what he is looking to do. Stevens' first skip stone is away.
Looks like they're sweeping it pretty hard.
They're working it.
Yep.
And
Looks
now
like it might have enough to get there. Maybe an oversweep.
maybe just a little
but-
bit.
Looks like a nice shot.
And it will finish
And back 4 foot.
back 4 foot. You see a very disgruntled look from John Hale as he turns around. And the difference in curling between a great shot and just a good shot is sometimes about 6 inches to a foot, maybe less. Meanwhile, Brandon will use his last stone to try and freeze. On the shot rock. And that looks really light. And
See Brian's sweeping it pretty hard. Trying to get past that guard there. And they squeeze it past. Comes right back down to the red rock and sits that shot.
a very impressive shot by Brandon there.
He looks very pleased.
Yes. A lot of work being done by all the other team members to try and get that shot actually through. It's quite a pickle now. You can take a look at this situation here. I mean, obviously, there's the open draw for one. You just might have to do with that. Do you see anything else they can do?
You could try to chip the yellow rock out and maybe get 2 out of it, but you probably would just want to come back with a back house weight to do that. I think he's just going to try to draw.
That would appear to be the case.
Guards make that shot very tricky, so.
And for those unfamiliar with curling strategy, when you're able to hold a team with hammer to 1 point, you succeeded in that end. That is your goal.
Unless you played a steal, which is really fun.
Well, right now it looks like Enixon's shot is got T-line plus weight.
Looks like it's coming down quite nicely on it. They're sweeping it,
Getting
and
it in.
and
they
he
were
gets 1
able
point
to
out of it, I
get,
think. Right? Just
uh,
one? Just one.
Yeah, just 1 point there for Enixon.
Almost got enough angle to bump that yellow one out, but it's a nice try.
Not quite. So through 4 ends, it is Team None Given leading Team Spiel Mitmer 4-2. And some of the other action, it looks like Team Hewer is up 4-1 on Team Cheater. That's over on sheet A. Sheet D.
Sheet D.
On sheet D. Unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with the team.
I can't see. Who's playing against Jody? Who's the other? Oh,
Vincent.
Looks like Vince is beating Jody. What was it? 4-2 or something? I don't know. Sheet C, Richard Chin is up 4-1 against Rhonda Brandt. In case anyone cares about the other sheets. Shide looks like it has pretty much all of its rocks in play. They got about 12 guards over there. Pretty interesting.
Right now, Team Hewer is set up somewhat nicely
Lots
with
of guards.
Chester's skip hammer stone left.
Yeah, Rob's looking at a crazy angle hit there, so we'll have to see how that turns out.
We could.
Back to sheet B. Rose is throwing a draw for her second rock.
All right, Rosemary's second stone is relatively high guard, corner guard. Brandon now is telling Brian to either tap back or draw around.
Sorry. The only people I recognize are my mom and Ann. I don't know this guy, but he's from Canada, it said. Greetings from Canada. Cancel. No, I don't want to do
Brian's
that.
stone is away. It's definitely looking to be a draw. They're sweeping it.
It's not what I meant to do. I was trying to scroll. My mom's watching the last game, and she says she loves our hats.
All right, so Brian's shot is short
Down here. You can watch
of the house.
I told her that our last game was done, on there.
Chad now readies himself to try and throw a guard. It looks like just like the last end, they're having difficulty finding
I'm going to send her a photo.
finding the weight to get in the house at the front end. The lead in the second. This time, Chad's shot is, well, a little long, and it will be out of play. All right. So Mike is now being asked to throw a draw, which is contrary to the game that he prefers to play. He loves hitting things. Every time we're going to go into a takeout, he says it's time for the whack. And he crafted a trophy that he usually hands out after games in leagues to the hit of the night.
You can only win that if you're playing with or against him.
Yes.
You can't win it if you're on a different sheet.
That
I've
is
tried.
Did you try to appeal that your shot was low whack worthy?
Nah. Although we did have one against him where my skip pretty much made it around the horn, take out 2 of the rocks and take 6 points. And he won the trophy for that one.
That's amazing.
It was pretty incredible because it was Pizza League. We didn't call it, it just sort of happened.
Yes. All right. Again, we have a very clean house, and Chad will try and put some rocks into it.
What are you commenting? And I said Big Spiel Loud game, and she goes, I don't know if that counts as curling.
And again, his draw is wide and long. But it might stick around. Brandon will furiously sweep that, try and getting it out of the house. And he is unsuccessful.
Brandon will call a draw in behind his guard.
A dirty little biter.
A flob.
Yes, most assuredly a flaw. All right, well, Brandon ignores the flop and tries to draw. They're sweeping and trying to get past the guard. Up front, it will...
Ticket and roll his shooter in. Is out counting that one in the back.
Yep, out counting the biter. I suppose that's important.
Wide open, though.
Yes.
Enixon will call a hit and roll.
Unfortunately, in that kind of a shot, when you're able to change it up, you're able to call something else instead of all these draws that neither team seems to be able to hit. And now change it up to much more of a simpler shot. John's shot is away. And it will curl just past that yellow stone, flashing it completely. Immediately. Immediately, Jimmy Fallon is called to do a draw to try and add a stone into the house for Brandon. And that stone will come to rest.
Back 4.
Back 4 foot.
Biting the button.
Pretty
nice shot.
Pretty well guarded. As y'all can see. Looks like Enixon's going to try and either do some sort of freeze or heavy draw. John's shot is away. And they are watching it come back. And comes back just enough to...
Shooter rolls out, but the yellow rock stays in play.
Yes. Made some contact, but now it's one of those ends where you start missing those takeouts and you get a very, very dirty house. So Jimmy will try and draw another one in. This one close to the button.
I wonder what it's like growing up with the name of Jimmy Fallon.
I guess for the first 10 years or so of your life, it's fine.
Yeah. It's true. I guess that wasn't he wasn't really a TV guy until recently, right?
Somewhat recently.
Sorta.
Saturday Night Live, of course.
It's true.
All right. Looks like Steven is ready to throw getting ready to throw his first rock. As a skip, when you see this kind of a house and you don't have hammer, not a good thing.
See if he's drawing or hitting. I guess we're about to find out because I can't tell.
It appears like a draw. I think that looks like that's what they were calling for.
That would make sense. All those yellow rocks are pretty far out there.
They are, but there's always that danger when you leave that draw in exposed.
That's how they take a lot of points. He takes one out.
Yep.
Shooter stays around. Nose hit.
And at least on our vantage point, it's difficult to tell whether he is shot rock or not. I think he's not. Our angle is not very It's not the best of angles looking at our overhead cameras.
He might be.
Yeah. It's definitely very difficult to tell on those outer.
It's definitely cut yellow down from 2 to 1.
Yes.
Or to 0. Not sure.
So Brandon and Jimmy are deliberating. Brian is giving him some advice. It looks like Brandon's trying to find a way, trying to find a path for 3 or more.
Still 3 shots left, though.
There are.
Still has another one after this. Wow, there's 17 people watching now.
It's a mammoth audience.
Hi to every 17 one of you.
Well, if I haven't missed my guess, it looks like Brandon's trying to hit that red stone right on the right side and work its way back behind cover.
Nice roll with 3 behind cover. Be sitting pretty.
I think there actually is a telestrator mode. We could, in theory, write on this, but
That sounds awesome.
it does. I don't really want to mess up what we got, so we won't.
With our luck, we'd screw up the whole thing and they wouldn't be able to watch the end of the game.
All right. Brandon's first skip stone is away. And he will hit the stone on the right side, and it will run.
Roll right out. Nope. It'll stick around the back corner, but not touching the house.
No.
He's still got 2 rocks in play, though. Or in the house. He's got 4 in play.
Yes. Certainly a good effort. And again, it was probably maybe about 2 inches of a hit. Was all the difference between it spilling out and actually
Still counting.
sticking around.
Looks like Steven will draw. Try to tuck one in behind cover. Cut Brandon down with his last rock. Brandon still has the hammer shot, though.
Is certainly a less than ideal position if you do not have hammer in this situation. Not getting that last shot behind cover is going to lead to a big end on the other end. And they are sweeping it all the way to the button. A very nice shot by Steven, though it
Might be partially visible, though.
yeah, looks like there might be just enough. And Brandon likes to play a hit game. He loves like whacking the heck out of stuff. In fact, 3 at least out of 4 on his team prefer that style of play as opposed to a more refined draw game, I suppose.
Jimmy's the one that doesn't.
I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen him curl like a bunch of times, but I don't know which way he likes to throw.
No, Jimmy's definitely the one I've seen the least of around, so I don't really know his style either.
All right. It looks like Brandon will, in fact, try to chip out that red stone sitting there on the button.
And the angle where he hits this is really important because he has lots of potential to jam on his stones in the back and give them a point.
Yes. So it's got a high reward for this shot, but still a lot of risks involved. I guess that's why they pay the skips big money. All right, here is the hammer for the 5th end. That shot will clear the guards,
Really exciting.
hit,
My mom was watching.
and makes it. for, well,
I think she's
one
watching my
spilled
game
out,
that
so
was
now that is
just texted me
2
that she's
points
watching my game
for
that they did earlier instead now.
Spiel Mitmer with the hammer.
She said nice hat in your game.
Here in the
Something
5th
said
end.
She's watching that one instead.
All right, with that, we've got an all-tie game.
He's working down in Norfolk, so they're living down there. He's gone to a couple Bonspiels. I know they went to the Harvest. My mom's going to the Fun Spiel in a couple weeks. My mom was.
All right,
in
Brandon,
Atlantic.
call for a
They were
3
both up here
guard.
for the inaugural. They'll probably be around for Cherry Blossom. I know my mom's coming to help it with the dikes, so I mean they're around every once in a while, but they don't live here right now. They should be back in March or April or May or something. In April, we're all going to Hawaii for a week. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Hopefully, they'll be back this next season for good, or for at least for a year, actually, to be playing for real.
So Brian throws a very high center line guard. Steven now asks for a corner guard covering the side of the 4-foot. It's our right side on our vantage point.
Rose's Rock will end up as a biter, top 12.
Yep.
Full top 12.
Full top 12.
Behind the cover. It's a nice shot from her.
Yep. Certainly a good alternate shot. Brandon switches brooms. He forgets.
Fancy.
Well, Brian prefers throwing at white brooms. He thinks he sees the line better when he throws.
Oh, the handle?
Yes, a white-handled broom.
Interesting.
At one point, Brandon was vicing for Brian and actually had his broom handle with white tape on one side. So for when Brian shot, he would
That's
have the white
wacky.
handle. Hey?
Nice shot from Brian, though. Not quite behind cover,
Nope.
but full 4.
In any event, it's still making Steven pay attention to it, which, especially with the way that the leads are throwing. And an event like this is a lot of curlers that don't have a ton of experience. So pressuring the leads to make those takeouts is a very good strategy.
Looks like Rose's shot's curling a bit more than they want it to, so we'll see where it ends up. It's a lucky break for Brandon. She bumps his guard up, and it's a very good position to guard his 4-foot rock.
And now, without hammer, he's looking to try and just block up that center and basically guard his guard. So Mike readies for his
Wasn't our next game supposed to be at 3:45? That's right now.
draw times at the Big Spiel are always subject to change.
We're all running a bit late today. It's
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
I
Mike's-
get to relax more before my next game.
Yes.
Fine with me.
Now you're going into the B event semifinal.
A
your next
event
game?
semifinal.
A event semifinal.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Pretty excited about
That
it.
is exciting.
Yes. If I lose, I have to play at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, though.
Not
as exciting.
That's all the incentive we need, right?
We are on Team McNeil. We are now in the C event. So if we are able to successfully pull out a victory, we will win the right to play at 9 in the morning, and then hopefully win that right to play at noon on Sunday in the C event final.
Just hoping to win and make it right to the finals.
Look, I would like to not go 0-3. That's our goal.
Good goal.
here.
Good goal. All right. So now yellow's sitting 2 with another one in the house, and red gets it past the guard, Peels one of them out. Yellow's still sitting one.
All right.
Brandon will throw up a guard. Put it right back.
There's certainly not a lot bizarre about this strategy. Pretty standard right now.
Well, and for Laura, who's watching for sheet D, the score there is all tied up at 2 points apiece.
And there looks like a metric ton of granite in that house.
Yeah, they got about 12 rocks in play over there, too. So we'll keep you updated on the score over there.
Meanwhile, in this game, it looks like Mike's shot just chipped off the red that was in the 12-foot circle and actually is sitting high. And now Chad's second stone is away. He's looking to try and hit both stones out, just like the last shot, and that too.
Just peel one right out.
Just peel one right out.
One is better than 0.
That is true.
Not quite what they wanted, though.
It's not, but if you're playing without the hammer, you're happy just to let him keep burning stones in the same shot.
Yep. Brandon is not in a bad position here at all.
So
Jimmy throws a guard. Looks like it's curling a bit. I think they're trying to play the wick off of the red guard. Try to roll back into place. And it'll roll in front of the yellow rock. It's a nice plan B on his part.
That certainly is. It gives Steven not an easy route to that yellow shot rock there. He's looks like he's gesturing for back line.
Try to tap the yellow back.
So John, we're ready. Well, thank you, Charlie.
Hi, Dad.
One of our Bonspiel hosts, Charlie Brown, has coordinators dropping off some pretzels. I'll try and not eat them directly in front of the microphone. That's incredibly unprofessional.
I'll do it.
All right, meanwhile, John's shot will curl nicely into the 4-foot circle, knocking out that yellow stone.
And red is now sitting 2.
To the back line.
Both of his rocks are nicely guarded.
Take a look here at the house. All right, looks like Brandon is now going to call for a freeze.
They're playing pretty well. Let's say Brandon has a pretty nice lineup. I mean, you got Brian throwing lead. And Steven's team has a pretty nice lineup as well. You know, they're both pretty
That
decent
freeze
teams.
is really heavy.
Yeah, who beat these people?
Oh, he's clearing out that guard. I guess that's what he really meant to do.
Do you know which of these ones are still? One of these games is an A event semi. Oh, sheet A. Sanders said they're still in it. So I think sheet A is an A event semi. So if we win our next game, we play the winner of sheet A, I think. Which would make sense. Those are both pretty decent teams. I know Kama told me they were playing pretty well too, I think.
All right, so with that guard cleared, I think Enixon is asking for John to give him a draw right behind that stone that's in the top 8 foot.
If he makes this, he'll be sitting 3. Should be good for him.
And watching it settle in, the sweepers are not acting on it at all.
Okay, at this point, they're hoping for a wick.
Yeah,
And they get
got
it.
a week. A week.
They're sitting 3, but with one wide open in the 4-foot.
So right now, Brandon and Jimmy meet to try and figure out exactly how to best hit that stone and settle the shooter to be shot rock. It looks like they've settled upon that route. Brandon throws with a ton of weight.
And he'll roll out with his shooter.
Wow.
Not out of play, but out of the house.
I've certainly noticed playing this game that sometimes hits do not take as much force as people think they do.
Oh, no, if you want your shooter to stick around, you don't want to throw up weight at it.
And that at that point, Brandon was incredibly heavy.
It is really fun to throw up weight, though.
Yes. I certainly am a fan of interstate weight.
I'm also a fan of control weight because you get a lot more to stick around and you have more you can do stuff with. For those of you watching for Sheet D, it looks like yellow has taken 3 points in the 4th end, so they're up 5-2. And that's the team Jackie's on. Since Laura's looking to watch her. So.
That is crazy.
They got their 3. There were 14 of the 16 rocks were in play.
If anyone else is watching for a different sheet in particular, let me know, and I'll tell you the score.
Meanwhile, Steven's first stone will clear his guard.
So counting the yellow, just top 12.
Yep. He's taking a look. Brandon's trying to figure out what to do.
And he's looking at a potential double here, but I don't know. If I was him, I would just try to draw and bury it. All those other rocks are pretty far out there.
He is. He's asking.
Ask him, Mike, if he can see any of it, I guess.
Yep. Get some sort of direction on there.
See what kind of angle he can get. I mean, there's totally a triple there.
There is.
He's probably looking at it, too.
I think that's definitely one of the inspirations from watching the Continental Cup on the TV here. Is you're like, I could make that shot. Totally gonna happen.
Definitely. Everyone makes run back triples all the time.
Yes.
Every day.
And everyone totally makes hog line to button promotions. Oh wait, that happened.
It did.
Against us.
I made some run back doubles earlier.
No?
Yeah. No triples, though. I missed my triple. Only got 2. Although I did hog one yesterday, too, so, you know.
All right, it looks like they've settled upon trying to hit out those stones in the top 12 circle. And Brandon comes out very heavy.
Well, you got to throw heavy if you want a triple. And it flashes and misses all of them.
It
It's
went
tough,
just a
tough
bit wide.
break for Spiel Mitmer. I like saying that.
It's a fun team name. Right now, they're staring a.
What did you say it means again?
Right now, they're staring a 4 right in the face this end.
He pretty much just has to be full 12 to get his 4th point out of this draw.
That, by the way, is incredibly more easier said than done.
Great English language. Incredibly more easier. I like that.
And I am a teacher by trade.
IR engineer, no speak English.
But you are better with numbers.
Great with numbers. I can count to 10. That's all you need in this game.
I was going to say, you only need to count 10 to become an engineer?
Yeah.
All right.
Gave me a degree.
Nice. All right, hammer is away. And Steven's shot is getting worked on, and it will...
Looks like it might be good. They're going to eye it, though.
They are looking at it. Is it 3 or 4?
Looks like they pointed to it and said yes, so I think that red just got 4 points. It's a big game changer. See if Spielmimmer can come back from this one. Definitely potential. Both these teams are playing pretty well today.
All right, so with that, we got the 4.
Mike confirms that it is 4 points to red.
He is very disappointed, giving up 4 in the 6th end. All right, moving on to the 7th end. None Given has an 8-4 lead here in, we discovered this was a C event?
It's a C event lout game.
Okay, C event.
Woo! Losers out. Winner goes to the 9 a.m.
Yes.
semifinals, I think.
Yes, winner plays at 9, the semifinals.
If this game ends early and there's still other games going, we'll switch over to a different sheet so you guys can watch those instead.
Yep.
But for now, we'll keep you posted on B.
All right, Rose has hogged her first. Brian will get something going.
I think this picture turned out pretty well.
We are stylish with the hats, there's no doubt.
It's a pretty great team look. There you go, Morgan. Came out really well. I'm going to post that on the website. We're at least the most stylish team in town.
Yes. We're all taking a look at.
4 different hats, so you'll probably see if we can make it look different each day.
Oh, no, I'm wearing the same hat tomorrow.
Okay. I like
Same hat.
I would not change out of that hat. That is fantastic.
I have the coolest hat in town.
But will you wear it with the matching purple? Because today it works because you're wearing your Ravens jersey.
Matches with pink. Wearing a pink jersey tomorrow.
Got it.
I'm wearing enough other colors that'll work. One of my favorite things about Bonspiels is when you can just dress in really weird clothes and nobody really looks twice at you.
That's true. Or you could give yourself a mohawk, as Jimmy Fallon has done.
Yes, he has. He's also wearing bright orange.
Yes.
Boo Broncos. Go Ravens. We'll start talking about curling again now.
Well, right now they're just asking Rose to throw through the house. With a big lead, that's definitely not a bad play. Jimmy has issued the pants though. He has come to
Pants?
He has gone to Bonspiels with all sorts of funky pants.
Oh, interesting.
I believe he owns a set that
The Norway pants?
The Norway pants. I think he owns a set of.
Nice. I am a big fan of the Norway pants.
Norway pants are epic. If they didn't cost $100, I'd look into it.
Me too, maybe. They make Norway kilts. I might have to buy one.
That is a fantastic idea. Meanwhile, Brian has thrown a high 2-guard and then followed that up with a draw pretty much right to the button. Chad now ready to peel off that guard, I think.
Comes out with a bunch of weight. Let's see if the sweepers can hold it.
They let up as it goes and
Nice peel.
peels away. Surprisingly enough, sometimes it's pretty tricky to play with a big lead. At least that's been my experience.
A lot of people just forget that guards are bad. I've seen it happen too many times.
Yes, the trick with a big lead is try and keep things as open as possible. To try and
Especially
break
when
up.
you have hammer.
Yes.
But here in this end, if Brandon takes one, Steven will not be upset. He doesn't want him to take a big end.
All right, meanwhile, Mike's shot looks like it will go all the way to the back 12 foot.
Yellow sitting two, but with no guards. Red will take out their shot. Shot rock.
That certainly will be the call.
This chair's kind of uncomfortable. I guess I'm sitting in the wrong part of it.
Chad's takeout is away, and it actually looks like it will
Little chip it over.
glance.
Yellow's still sitting two, both on the outside in the 12 foot.
This is where things start getting a little interesting, especially when you are with hammer with a big lead, when the other team starts missing.
You got to take full advantage of it.
All right, Mike's second stone for the 7th end is away. And it looks like he's trying to just draw into the house.
Looks like he wants it in front of his other stone. But looks like it might go through. Steven will sweep it right out. Yellow's still sitting two.
All right, John's vice stone. He's trying to take out or at least do something with that right side rock in the 12 foot.
They're sweeping like crazy to hold that line.
They are. That
Doesn't
just
do anything.
moved.
Yellow's still sitting two.
Brandon looks like, again, he's trying to throw or have Jimmy throw something that will get to that left side stone in the house as you're looking at it and cover it up but still be in the house. So something in the top 12 foot circle. Jimmy, however, is heavy, or was heavy a second ago. Now it's...
Looks like it might stick around.
Yeah, it will stick
Maybe.
around.
Looks like they got another back 12 rock there. But they got three in the house. Sorry, back 8. Just a double there, though.
There is. John readies and releases out.
Looks like they need it to curl a little bit. See if he can get this. Oh, what'd you do? Oh.
And
He'll get 1 point out of it. But his shooter sticks around and is now shot rock.
Brendan will call a hit. It's curling hard on that side of the
Yeah,
ice.
it is moving. And fortunately for them, they will at least get a peel out of it.
There's no more Red Rock, but they wanted that to stick around.
Yeah. And that's been the story of the end a little bit. You had one miss by Enixon's team that split the house there, and then Brandon has not been able to capitalize on those mistakes to try and get more rocks into the house on his side.
He's lucky the other team isn't making as many shots either. He'd be in a lot worse position.
It's got to be a lot of it has to be mental at this point. I mean, it's like you're towards the end of the game. There's a big lead, and
Oh yeah, totally.
you know both teams. One team is kind of being resigned to the fact that they might not win it. The other team is like, all right, we're gonna win this game, and then you just get very sloppy. Well. Can you see what Steven's calling? I am being blocked right now.
It looks like he's calling a takeout of that one in the back.
That makes
The back
complete
right,
sense.
because there's two in the back. It didn't seem like it had a lot of ice on that.
No, he
so
doesn't, because I could hear John Hale yelling all the way from here.
He didn't give it a lot of ice at all, but
No.
he'll still get the hit out of it and shoot her a roll out of the house.
Well, it appears that they'll try and do something where they'll... I guess Brandon looks like he'll try and freeze to try and prevent Steven from knocking both of his out.
My wife and son turned on the replay. My son just saw me. He saw you. He's very excited.
He saw you?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Brandon's shot is away.
How old's your son?
He's 7.
They're working it
Nice.
feverishly. It looks like it is not going to have enough juice to get to the house.
I think he might have it.
You think?
Got some pretty good sweepers there.
They do. They're actually working it.
Definitely in the house.
Now it's in the house, yes.
Now it's a matter of did they sweep it too much, but I don't think they did. I think it's a nice shot.
So taking a look at the house, they're sitting two. One on the right side, one on the left side. So it's impossible for Steven to get both.
Enixon will call the hit on the one that's shot rock. At this point, Brandon's hoping for a miss, and he might be able to get 3 out of this end. Then he still has to steal to win the game, so he's in a tricky boat.
All right, here's Steven's last shot. It is away.
Once again, they're sweeping it like crazy. It's
They
curling
are.
a lot that direction. Usually does, though. He
It
gets the
does.
hit, rolls out. Yellow's only sitting 1 now.
Yep.
Brandon's last shot, and he'll draw for 2 points.
Very conventional. So now does the strategy, let's assume Brandon will touch paint, make the shot. Does the strategy then change for Steven? Now he'll have hammer and a 2-point lead. He'll try and still keep a clean house.
Well, if you're Brandon, you want a lot of guards next end. If you're Steven, you don't want a lot of guards. And they're sweeping it. But it looks like he's good.
Yep.
And he'll touch paint.
Touch paint for 2.
Touch button for 2. It's a nice draw.
Box.
So now the score is 8-6, and as Brandon has to steal 2 to tie, 3 to win. It's going to be tricky. We'll see what happens. That's our team motto. We'll see what happens. Team hat. Mark, I'm commentating.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did you?
You can go back and listen to all my commentation later.
Did you give your official name for the commentation?
My official name is Liz.
Right.
Oh, this one? No, I'm not going to say that on live webcast. There could be kids listening,
Oh,
Mark.
that's true. Yeah.
Come on.
How many viewers do we have?
We have 17 viewers.
Oh, right on.
Hey, there you go.
We're raking it in. We are raking it in.
Do you want to tell my parents hi?
The Andrews?
They're watching.
Aw.
So's Ann Doherty. They're the only people I have talked that I know are watching.
Ma and Pa. Outstanding.
My mom's been texting me. That's how I know that my dad's watching. So we technically have 18 viewers because they're both watching on the same computer.
We've been sending that text to everybody.
And Brian's shot will be in the house, which means they can't take advantage of the free guard zone rule, which means you can't take out guards in the first 4 rocks of the game. Steven will try and get that rock out. Keep it nice and open. Yeah.
She's awesome.
Not only do I have the coolest hat and the coolest broom in town, I'm the coolest commentator in town. Except for Adam. He's actually better than I am.
About 8 years of radio helps, I suppose.
I've never done this before.
Oh, there you go. Doing a fantastic
There's
job.
18 people watching me now.
Meanwhile, Rose has unsuccessfully taken that shot out, flashed it right past. So it looks like Brandon will probably
Brandon will probably
tap, I'm guessing, or split.
If I was him, I'd try to throw another guard because they still can't get rid of it.
Wow.
Take advantage of it while you can, then split that in later. But I don't know what he's calling. Looks like he's trying to call a split. He's watching line.
Well, it will rest.
And he'll split it on.
Yep.
There's a potential double there, but it's a tricky shot.
That is certainly.
It's not that tricky, I guess, in the double land.
Well,
There's 19 people watching now.
19 of them raking in.
there certainly is something to be said, especially in this kind of a game. I mean, you just saw the lead for Steven missed the first takeout, so might as well force him to try and make another one. This time.
Looks like she's going to get one of them, though.
Yes.
So, nice shot from Rose. Brandon's still sitting one, but again, he needs to steal 2 to win, to tie.
Yeah,
Force it
just
into an
a
extra
tie,
gun
yeah.
and steal again. So, we'll see what happens. I say that a lot.
All right, Brandon is now deciding what he wants to do with Mike's first shot, and I think it's a draw.
They could probably hear, so probably could hear it.
Mike readies, and he's out. They're not paying it too much attention from the sweepers. And it will curl past T. Steven furiously sweeps, but is not able to get that out of play. From our vantage point, it looks very nicely guarded.
Is that your vantage point?
That's from my vantage point. It's a very terrible vantage point, however.
No, actually, I'm right behind it, and it's very well guarded.
Thank you, Mark Lawrence. Getting some correspondence from the other side of the sheet. Meanwhile, Chad is going to try and... The Chad? You know, Florida election jokes are very topical. Very relevant. The Chad, yes. Well, the Chad just took out the Rock. It is now the Shot Rock. All right, Brandon now is asking Mike to try and draw. However, looks like Mike balked at that, and there'll be a team meeting.
Oh, sorry.
We've got
I'm knocking things over.
a timeout on the ice.
This is the Big Spiel. You can't call a timeout.
Yes.
They're just not playing yet. There's no such thing as times outs.
There is no such thing as timing with these games at the Big Spiel.
We're not timing it, so it can't be a timeout. It's just a let's not throw our shot yet thing.
All right, well, Liz, you be the skip, because you have been. What would you call?
What would I call?
Yes.
Who am I? Brandon?
You're Brandon right now.
I'm Brandon. I corner freeze, just what he's calling right now.
All right.
Yep. It's actually what I was going to say, too, before he called it. You know, great skips think alike.
No. Yes.
Yes. Red is sitting 1-3. Yellow has second shot.
All right, well, let's see if Mike can, in fact, make this corner freeze.
Line's looking good. Start sweeping it.
They are working it,
We'll see how this weight turns out.
but the weight
Looks a
has
little bit
come
light.
up short.
A little bit late. Looks like they might be able to get it. Well, it's not so much a corner freeze as just a tap,
Yes.
but it's not in terrible position. They've at least got another rock in the house.
I must say that I think Brian's method of Dante sweep should A, take the nation, and B, help get that stone a lot further than I thought it was going to go.
They're pretty good sweepers.
They are. I mean, if Gangnam style can be a thing, why not Brian style?
Why don't we make a song, and it'll be about different types of sweeping. You can do sweeping dances or something.
I think we're onto something.
I doubt it.
Okay.
It's okay. Everyone listening probably thinks we're crazy.
No.
They know I'm crazy. I'm sorry, Mark.
All right.
All right, so red takes its own rock out. Rolls to the button. Yellow still has two in the house, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is now looking a little bit better for yellow.
My new catchphrase. I'm getting it on a T-shirt. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
And Shide has shaken hands.
It would appear.
I think Hewer won.
All right.
Hewer was winning, so we think Hewer won on Shide against Team Chester, but not sure. Team Cheater. I'm
yes.
sorry, Cheater, not Chester.
Which only skipped by Chester.
Oh,
All right. So
and Jimmy will take out the red rock, but roll his own shooter out.
All right. So Jimmy then just with a peel, they're still sitting 1-2, but now it's not what you're looking for down 2.
He needed that to stick around.
Let's see.
You marked me out for dinner, right? Yes, thank you.
All right. John is ready with his shot and throws it incredibly hard. Right towards the outside edge of that sheet.
Oh, and
And
his
they
shot will
are
miss. Flashes right past.
Very wide, yes.
It's a lucky break for Brandon there. We'll see. Looks like he's calling a draw behind the red one in the top 12. He's trying to hide some rocks if he's going to steal.
Did you guys win, Michael? You guys win?
Yes. You're on Team Hewer,
So
right?
Team Hewer advance.
Were you guys in the A semis? Okay. Did you make the finals then, or was that the quarterfinals? Oh, there's one more game? Okay.
So Team Hewer has advanced to the A event
Semifinals.
Meanwhile, in this game, Jimmy's second stone is looking to go
It's a bit heavier and wider than they would have liked, but it looks like they're going to freeze it down to the one in the back, which is
they're
a good
still-
plan B.
Still sitting 1, 2, and 3 with a steal, so or looking for the steal. So
I think they're only sitting 1, 2. I think you got to measure for that third one. But he still has a hit on that front one,
that's true.
if at all, if he needs to.
I agree. You're probably right. Brandon's sitting 1 and 2 right now.
I'm just looking at the TV.
Ah.
That's what I think, but not certain. One, Enixon will call a hit on the one that he just threw, trying to get at least one of those out of there. But it's curling a lot. Might crash on his own rock and take it out. Nope. He squeezes past. He'll get one of the yellow rocks out.
All right.
It's a nice shot.
Well, Brandon will try and weigh his options. And he's looking for 2, but there's not really a lot of cover. There's nowhere really to hide. So there's definitely a lot of discussion to try and figure out what to do.
Consulting with his team again.
So it looks like the options that Brian is suggesting is either a top 12 stone or something in the 8-foot covering up the one that's in the back.
Looks like they're trying to draw, but maybe if they leave it a bit up higher, it's not a terrible idea. I think they're just kind of looking anywhere in that line in the house, counting. He still has one more rock after this, but he still wants this one to count.
Brandon's first shot is heading towards the house. They were sweeping it. They were all sweeping it. Now they're up.
They seem indecisive about whether they want to actually sweep it.
Well, it will move and actually curl.
Get it into the
Draw.
4-foot. It's a pretty nice shot from Brandon.
Yeah, they're going real slow. This one's an 8, that one's in 6. I think this one started earlier.
Huh.
C shook, so it looks like we might switch to D after this.
All right. Enixon now will try and take out that yellow stone.
And the game on sheet C is finished, but I don't know who was playing or who won, so sorry.
We're incredibly informative here. We're definitely earning our paychecks. Oh, wait.
We got paid in pretzels.
And those pretzels are delicious.
They're pretty good.
Mm.
There's 23 people. Every time I say something stupid, a bunch of people are watching.
So, well,
They all hearing your color commentary. That's what's driving them.
My
think-
commentary is the best in town.
I
Let's be
think,
real.
Liz, that is a lesson to be learned. The stupider things you say, the more people are listening. It is the general rule of
Yeah.
the internet. All right, now with that, Steven shot.
Oh, and he'll get a double out of that.
Double out.
That was a very nice shot from Steven.
Uh,
Redis now has shot rock. Brandon's going to try and hit and roll and hope that Steven misses his final shot and he can steal 2 and force an extra end. We'll see what happens.
it is the phrase of today.
It's my team motto.
I agree. That should be emblazoned on a shirt.
Should. It's my new catchphrase. Such a nice shot from Steven.
It was. All right, well, here's Brandon's final rock.
Phone. I can answer it. Rhonda's got it.
All right, Brandon's shot will hit,
Hit and indeed roll.
roll.
Stays a shot rock behind the other guard. Very nice shot from Brandon. He's now sitting 2. Gotta hope that Steven can't outdraw him. Although, he's just gonna go for the hit on the outside rock.
Or draw.
Or draw.
Drawing against 2.
I'm not sure what he's doing. We'll see.
Your guess is as good as mine, but this is Hammer here in the 8th end.
I mean, if it was me, I'd just play the plain hit because you just got to get rid of a point, but it's all down to what the skip's more comfortable throwing.
All right, with is hammer shot.
Looks like a hit.
It is a hit.
It's definitely a hit. It's looking nice. And he's got
they
it. Great shot from Steven. It's the game.
And that'll do it as the handshakes are passed all around.
And sheet D is shaken as well. Yellow one on that sheet, which was Vince's team. So all our games are done.
So the games are now done.
There'll be another game soon, I think.
Yes.
I don't know who's playing. Hopefully it's me.
Well, we're playing.
I know that we're on. I just don't know what we're playing.
Yeah, I know. We're
Yes.
I'll be there somewhere.
We're on is Team McNeil. So.
Look for the girl in the colorful purple hat.
Look for
Yes.
the best hats in town.
And.
Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.
Indeed. This has been your live coverage here from the Big Spiel. We'll now try and figure out whether they want us to just leave the stuff on or
I think so.
turn it off. You ready to roll? Go Ravens. All right.
Go Ravens.
We hope you enjoyed the coverage, everybody. For Liz, this is Adam signing off from the Big Spiel here at the Potomac Curling Club.